So for this post, I thought I would do something a little different and talk and not write for once. I guess this is my creation and in the reflections and creations title of this blog. Two things that I thought about from our conference day. There was a lot said and a lot to digest, but there were two things that kind of jumped out at me. That I wanted to kind of pick apart a little bit. The first one was something that Joanne Sim said. She talked about when she was speaking about restorative approaches. I believe her line that kind of resonated with me was, when a crisis happens, an opportunity is presented. And for me, it brought me back to, again, our whole creative inquiry as problem solving. And it really seemed like to me, that this was kind of going on this whole, this design thinking process that we've been going through, to kind of look at things a little differently, and not to just look at this crisis situation as a problem, but as an opportunity. Like, how can we grow from this situation that's presented to us? And not to be cliche, but I think if we use that, approach it from a proactive and productive perspective, then we have the chance to make good of a potentially bad situation. And I think that comes back to, or it lends itself to this whole idea of creativity that we've been sort of exploring. How can one look at a crisis and turn it into an opportunity if they're not creative, if they're not finding ways to restructure or reframe a situation? I mean, isn't that what creativity is to take one thing and turn it into another? So again, that was regarding suspensions and restorative approaches to justice and discipline and punishment and learning. But I found that to be, I don't know, it tied into some of the ideas that we were talking about. The second point that, I don't know, kind of made me scratch my head a little bit was this cartoon that we were shown. This video. It was a short, 6-minute video about Syrian refugee crisis. And I don't know what it was, but I don't know. It just seemed to sort of oversimplify this whole situation. It's a very complex set of issues going on in the Middle East, and that led to the Syrian refugee crisis, that led to an influx of immigrants and refugees to Canada and everywhere else. And I guess I'm not trying to be too pretentious, but when you're speaking to a room of graduate students, all of whom are teachers, I don't know, I just kind of felt like this video was a little I don't know, and maybe it doesn't matter who you're showing it to, but when you're treating an issue such as the massive loss of lives and displacement of peoples with literally cartoon images, I don't know, there's something about that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, these dots, they're people. If I skip ahead here, again, these dots, they're people. This Syrian refugee crisis, it's not about dots. It's actual living people. And I don't know, something about the medium, I guess. Maybe it was an issue of was this the best medium for to tell the story? Sure, maybe to another group, maybe, and even then, like, I don't know. I think it loses that human element, and maybe I'm not so much upset with the presenter. Not at all. I think it's more being aware of this medium and the the methods used by whoever created this film. If you look, almost 10 million views. They're definitely presenting it in such a way to make it simple. And I guess my question is, is simple best? I get that it's a complex issue, and I get that it probably overwhelms a lot of people, but I don't know. There's something a little bit too trivial about, just the graphics, just the way it's presented. Again, maybe I'm off the mark there, but it's just something that I think about. Something that stuck out to me. Again, these are all people. They're people. They're not dots. I don't know. Anyways, so those are two kind of things that stuck out to me. Again, there was lots of stuff going on at conference day. So much great stuff from Janet to begin with. But those were two things that I kind of left thinking about anyways a little bit more after. So there you go. Thanks for listening. Hopefully that didn't put you to sleep. Cheers.